John here. Welcome back to my homestead. I tell you, it's been a strange couple of days. I changed some things on my old truck because I got sick and tired of the battery cables coming loose. Come to figure, in brand new cables, the insert of the end came disconnected from the actual wire. So I'll show you what I'm going to do on that. But for right now, let me show you what's going on with my truck. Okay. I had to go get a new battery. This thing is absolutely no fun at all. In order to get the battery out, you have to take this thing off. It goes on top of that over there. Then you have to disconnect the cables just to get to it. So I went and bought a new battery. I didn't want to mess with the old one because I drove 50 miles after it sat for a few days, and it's like, okay, fully charged. Well, I noticed the volt gauge was sitting below 14 volts. I'm going, well, that can't be good. So when I came out of Dollar General after getting a gallon of milk, it wouldn't start. So I'm going to disconnect these cables here so I can get this battery hold down in there, and then I can get the box in here, then I can put the cables back on. So hold on. Okay. I put grease on the terminal so to keep the corrosion down. So I got the battery cables on nice and tight. So now, this crazy bracket. Let's see. I believe it goes in like this. It's a crazy setup. I don't know for the life of me. It goes... It goes like this. You gotta get it down over this stud down here. So it goes over that stud there, and then there's a bolt goes up here and a bolt there. Okay, I got it all back together. You got the bolt in here, a nut down there, and another bolt there. Those are 10 millimeter. The bolt that holds down here is a 13, and of course the battery terminal is 8. There's one thing I want to talk about. Now, when I was reading about why batteries seem to go bad in the wintertime, they're saying about cold air changes the chemical reaction in the battery. Okay, this thing has a cold air snorkel. Now I taped it off because cold air reaction, this is the second battery I put in this thing. This battery I just took out, 3 years old. What gives? My thought, all this slush and the mess that I drove in, all that cold air was coming in and killing my battery. I noticed last week it was slowing down on how it starts. So, let's crawl in here. See what it does. Now, normally, when you... most of the time, when you come in here, you just barely touch the key, and it'll start right up. So let's see. I barely touch it. Boom, she fires up. Before I had to sit there and crank on it, I didn't have enough cold cranking amps coming into the thing. So, you can see how many miles I have on this thing. 204,000 miles. Most part, this thing runs like a top. Those lights, I don't know why. So let's shut it off. Turn the key again. Barely touch it. Bada bing, bada boom. Then the lights go out. I don't know why. But this has been a good running truck. I couldn't see being without this thing. Now, see, it's voltage is up, temperature is, thing runs 210. That's the thermostat in. To me, personally, I think it's too hot. I got good oil pressure. But it's been a good truck. Now, I want to show you my old truck. And I'll show you what I did with it. Okay. Got the hood up my old truck, and I parked my other one in the driveway. This is what I came up with. I got sick and tired of the cables coming loose. These are brand new cables. This one was a royal pain in the butt to get to on the starter. So everything is solid. They seem a little small to me. But, so I screwed these adapters in. I got them from AutoZone for about $6. And these cable ends, I cut the cables, tighten up the nuts, and put everything in there. I mean, this has been a fairly good truck for as long as I've had it. And let's see here. You see, when I got this thing, it had 126,000 miles. I got 133,000 miles on it. So you can tell how much I've used it. So let's see. It fires up. Starter's starting to make a weird noise now. I don't know why. But for the most part, got good oil pressure. Battery's still going to be charging a little bit. I think it's because it's cold. I found the gas gauge. You've seen my one video. I finally got it fixed. One problem I have is a clutch and my parking brake. For the life of me, I tried everything to try to get it to disengage. So let's see. You can hear that throw out bearing. Yeah, it's cold. See now, if I try to do that before, the way those old cables were, those side terminals, it wouldn't have started up like that. I had to go out there and wiggle the cables around. You know, I've had problems with this truck with the cables for a long time. I thought, well, I'll put new cables on. Well, I couldn't find the cables anywhere else. I had to go to LMC. So now he's cold. I got to do work on the blower motor. It's really, I mean, you can hear it, but it's just you can't get much out of it, especially when you turn on the heat. It barely blows at all. So I got to take that blower motor apart and figure out why. But anyways, I wanted to show you problems you're going to have with a battery. Now, my old truck, or not this old truck, doesn't have anything fancy covering the battery. Okay? My Envoy has a snorkel. So it's pumping ice cold air across the top of that battery. This truck sits in the driveway, or I use it around the yard. So, which is better? I don't know. I mean, you let me know in the comments, which do you think's better? Now, personally, if I can get this old truck 100%, kind of funny. Thought I pushed down the parking brake. I actually pushed the truck backwards. Hold on a second. No, I did not. Didn't push it hard enough. Okay, that's a little better. I mean, you leave in the comments, which do you think? Now, my Envoy, it's four-wheel drive. And I tell you, it's strange when it's in automatic. It'll grab, and it will tug you one way or the other. Yes, it has a computer. Yes, it has its problems. This old truck, I bought it because it's a spare. Now, this year, when it gets warmer, and I get my refund back, with the way the government is, who knows. I'm sure I'm going to have a video on how to change a clutch, and I never change a clutch in the way this truck is set up. So, that's it for this video. I just wanted to go over problem I've had with the batteries. I got the old truck solved. Hopefully I got my Envoy solved. I kept the old battery. They only give you $15 for it. I paid $169 for that thing 3 years ago. I'm not giving it up for that. I'll use it for something. So anyways, give me a thumbs up if you like this type of content. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. Really helps me out. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot for stopping by.